One of the biggest concerns in crossing an ocean in a small boat is the possibility of running out of drinking water. Now, I carry 60 gallons of water in the ship's tanks and then another 15 gallons in jugs, which should be plenty of water for the 3,000-mile crossing, which will probably take around a month. However, there's always the danger of a water tank bursting, especially one of the large ones, or getting contaminated, which could pose a problem. So what are your options? One is to install a desalinator, but those are large, bulky, expensive, and use quite a bit of power. There are handheld reverse osmosis pumps, but friends of mine have said you'll be lucky to get your sweat back with those. They're not very efficient. So my solution was to buy a lot of bottles, 48 bottles to be exact, of bottled water and just stuff them in the lockers. The chances of all those bottles bursting or becoming contaminated is virtually zero. So that's my backup plan as far as water goes. And of course, there's always the possibility if you get a good downpour, enough to wash the salt off the sails, you can catch rainwater too, but you can't depend on that. The ocean is a desert as far as drinking water goes. So I had to bend the mainsail back on after varnishing the mast, and also rig the third reef line, which I always have a rule to rig the third reef line before heading offshore. Since I don't know what the local conditions will be like on the day I plan to decide to put to sea, I'm going to sail out of Jackson Creek while I've got a favorable wind to do so, because I can't count on having a favorable wind on the day I find a weather window to head offshore. So I'm going to sail around the corner to Fishing Bay, which I can always sail in and out of. So just weighed anchor from under a ton of mud. It's been sitting down there for 3 weeks. And I was going to take off on starboard tack, but I couldn't get her to bear away, so we're going to have to tack around to port. Need a little longer runway there to get her moving, so then I can get her to bear off the wind and head out on the first leg. Remember, this is you basically trace a Z in getting in and out of Jackson Creek. At this point, I've been in and out of there so many times, it's almost becoming second nature. But that channel is quite narrow, so I'm always a little concerned that the wind might do something funky on me here. But so far, it's behaving. Now we're still going through our slalom course through the buoys here. And that's the last. And we just have the 2 day beacons at the entrance. And once we reach that, we're out into wide water. And so about an hour later, we work our way around to Fishing Bay. And by the last of the afternoon sun and dying breeze. So we're going to do a flying anchor set here. So just drop the anchor while she's slowly sailing. And then, as you can see, the anchor just dug in, so now it's pulling her bow up head to wind. And using the momentum of the boat to set the anchor at the same time. Okay, so let's look at where we're at here. It is Saturday, the 6th of June, 2020, and we're looking at the latest version of the European model, European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. And let's just get a distance idea here. Okay, that's 1,000 miles. So let's zoom in one more here. So that's about 700 miles. That's about a week's worth of work right there. All right, let's just recenter this here. So across the screen is about 1 week's worth of work, 700 miles or so. So just to get an idea of the distance scale we're dealing with. All right, so we got southwest winds to start off. This afternoon becoming more sort of southerly. So that's all right. So we get into Sunday noon, wind shifting northerly. Again, if we're following kind of an east-northeast track, we got northerly winds, 10 knots, so that's pretty good. We get into Monday, we got northerly winds, still about light northerlies, 7 knots, that's fine as long as we got some wind. Then we get into Tuesday, and depending where we are, we should get southwesterlies. Yeah, by Tuesday evening, we should have nice southwesterlies. So still pretty good. And as we get into Wednesday, we got southerlies. So that's still all good. Thursday, if we get up here by Thursday, we would have, well, this says north. It looks like northeast, though. These are kind of more northeasterly, easterly, so that might not be quite so good, but still, you know, no bad weather here. And if we move along a little further, then we got southeast. Southeast is fine. Saturday, southerlies. Sunday, south, southwest, that's still fine. And Monday we got south. Nice, nice southerlies. So, by the European model, that looks pretty good. Now let's see what the GFS says. So the GFS is saying, well, very light winds to start off. And as we get into Sunday, okay, we'll have northerlies. We get into Monday, light northerlies. Get into Tuesday, yeah, light south, southeast. All right. Wednesday, southerlies. Thursday, light south to southeast. Friday, southerlies. Saturday, southerlies. Sunday, southerlies. Finally picking up a little here, depending where we are. And then Monday, westerlies. And what's this over here? Okay, that's just a patch. Oh, that's a front. I see, so a front's gonna go over. So right there we got 20, 30 knots of wind, so that'd be kind of brisk. But at least for the first week, ooh, there's a low. Okay, there's you know, you get across the other side of the Atlantic, there's a nice big low pressure for you here. So that's gale force, that's a gale system. Where's that thing coming from? Ooh, okay, that's a pretty serious system. We would want to avoid that, wouldn't we? What does the European model say about that? Oh, I see. The European model has that going much. The European model has that low going much further north. I'm betting that that low. I'm betting is the remnants of Cristobal, because we have a tropical storm in the Gulf. See, there it is. It's moving north. Yeah, I think that's it. Still there. And I skipped a day. Yep, still there. It seems to be Cristobal. Yeah, so it seems like this system here is the remnants of Cristobal. And the European model. Well, I no sooner make my way out onto the Chesapeake Bay and the wind just dies to nothing. So I take the opportunity to give myself a DIY haircut. And it's the first time I've attempted such a thing. And while I'm at it, I'll give myself a shave there, so we start off this passage looking sharp. And don't use too much of that fresh water, it's gotta last. So here we go.